Alright, Stampede family, another night of breaking day on these YT YouTube streets. Now I ain't even gonna hold y'all. When it comes to stream y'all, for me, it's like amateur night at the Apollo. In other words, humble beginnings, people, humble beginnings. So y'all gonna see a whole lot of bloops and blunders, pauses and losses, but it's all goody. It's called progression. The rules on the block goes like this. If you feel something I'm saying is cap, then hit your cap emoji. Then get it off your chest how you feel about the situation. If you feel the math is mathing, then hit one of them heart emojis to show your love for the content. With that being said, let's get to chefing up this content. So what we got on today's menu?
Owned app called TikTok could be banned. So many Americans are moving to another Chinese-owned app called Note. But cybersecurity experts say that app could be banned as well. Government officials are worried about the apps tracking Americans.
The fact that foreign-owned countries.
Yeah, y'all see it. They shutting it down. TikTok is up and out of there. Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't never had no TikTok account. It ain't that I didn't want to get one. It's just for some weird reason. When I tried to get one, y'all know how they tell you that confirmation password? Well, something wouldn't let me get the password. And I kept trying over and over again. Even different days I tried. But every time something wouldn't let that code that they send to your phone or whatever, that you gotta confirm it, it wouldn't never go through. And this was like maybe I say 6 months or so ago, maybe later than that. So yeah, for some weird reason, something or somebody or something. Yeah, because my life is kind of weird like that. But it wouldn't allow me to get up on that platform. That's just real talk. Let me know if anybody else ever experienced that. Yeah, something want control. I heard a lot of people, a lot of people that don't normally get money. I heard a lot of people was getting money on that platform. Well, it looked like now they done shut that down. So there was a lot of people that was getting their money, but they ain't getting it no more. At the end of the day, when you look at it, I think it's interesting. People need to just YouTube the top 100 highest paid YouTubers. See how many of y'all that been doing it big on TikTok. What it look like over there. That's just what it is. So we don't know why they shutting TikTok down. I got a question. Do these other countries feel that it's a security threat? Because we not the only country getting it. I don't hear none of these other countries saying, you know what? They got a point. So somebody let me know. Have y'all heard that? Canada, Mexico. I don't know nothing about TikTok, where they all go, but it's just something to think about. Are they worrying about it? And if they not, should they? Who knows? Anyway, let's see what else going on here. Told y'all I'll be winging this stuff. Part of them bloops and blunders. But yeah, man, they really wouldn't let me join TikTok. Real talk. I do know one thing. I know a lot of people now going to this new app called Red Note or something like that. Who knows what that's about? But I'm almost sure it's gonna be some issues even with that. Let's check.
Carolina homeowners, if your roof is leaking, damaged, or even if it's just old, you can save.
Hi, who else is here from TikTok?
Hey yo,
We're from Texas. Thank you for welcoming us to the app.
We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values.
With TikTok's future hanging by a thread, a huge surge of users are flooding a surprise alternative.
This is so much better than TikTok.
Red Note, the English name for Xiaohongshu, meaning Little Red Book, drawing comparisons to a collection of Mao Zedong's quotes, small enough to carry around. Red Note is a Chinese communist government
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
A thread. A huge surge of users are flooding a
What'd she
surprise
say?
alternative.
This is so much better than TikTok.
Hanging by a thread.
Thank you for welcoming us to the app.
We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values.
Right there. That part. I thought this supposed to be about a security threat. Am I missing something there? Supposed to be a security threat. What's she talking about? The values. You can't say that.
Do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values.
What? What? So this because they don't want to act like us? Is that what she's saying? See, yo, hey, they say people like me is dumb. We don't know no better. So maybe somebody need to explain that to me. So I'm gonna play it again. So, explain it to me.
We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values.
With TikTok's
Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah. See her? This woman right here, that's what she said. Yeah. They arguing that TikTok don't trust their values. What values she talking about? They got a book somewhere that they gave TikTok, and TikTok ain't going by the book they gave them. What values you talk about?
future hanging by a thread. A huge surge of users are flooding a surprise alternative.
This is so much better than TikTok.
Red Note, the English name for Xiaohongshu, meaning Little Red Book, drawing comparisons to a collection of Mao Zedong's quotes, small enough to carry around. Red Note is a Chinese communist government-monitored social media platform, now topping Apple's U.S. App Store.
Welcome, TikTok refugees. Red Note is not Instagram.
Many say they came.
What that mean? Red Note is not Instagram. What that mean? I'm telling y'all, I don't know nothing about TikTok. So, what that mean? Anybody know? Red Note is not Instagram. Why they even bringing up Instagram? I thought this was about TikTok.
Here out of spite.
I refuse to support Facebook, Meta, especially Elon Musk and X.
And they're making unexpected cross-cultural connections.
Hey there, fellow TikTok refugee here, and I just want to say I have no idea how to speak Chinese.
Today, I would like to teach you some Chinese.
Some users searching for international romance or the perfect Chinese name.
Let me help you to pick one that suits you.
One post even recreates famous Chinese and Russian propaganda posters. Just days ago, this may have seemed unthinkable.
I was scared that TikTok was going to go away, so I wanted to find an alternative.
Heather Roberts from Texas says TikTok refugees like her are desperate to find a new platform, a new social media fix.
I haven't been on Red Note for very long. I've only been on there for maybe 3 days, and I found myself like, wow, this is very addicting. I'd probably say it's a little bit more addicting than TikTok.
An addicting algorithm. Exactly what app developers want. Experts say there are risks when it comes to the rise of another Chinese app. Just like TikTok, Red Note collects huge amounts of user data. China's laws.
They said it's addicting. Is it addicting, people? Like I said, they wouldn't let me get on it, so I don't know. But is it addicting? Like I'm thinking about like crackheads and pipeheads and all that kind of addiction. Is this something you wake up every day fiending for it? You willing to pay without the commercial thing and all that type stuff? Anything to just get on there? Is it that kind of addiction? Or they done gave the word addiction a new name? It means something else I don't know about. These wordplay, boy, the words they be giving these things. Oh, it's an addiction. It's a problem. It's a security threat. Oh. I don't know, people. Let's see what this dude got to say.
Require companies to share that data with the government, but only if requested. Heavy censorship is already affecting American users, some getting their first taste of China's tightly controlled internet. Users say posts on topics deemed sensitive by Chinese authorities are being deleted, including LGBTQ+ issues and even a popular Japanese anime. Other posts face backlash, flooded with negative or offensive comments. Some new users report racist questions, including whether it's okay to use the N-word. Let's say that TikTok goes away and a lot of Americans flood into these Chinese apps.
Y'all hear that? I wonder who wanted to know. Is it okay for the Chinese to say the N-word? Like, you just joined a new platform. New platform. That don't even speak your language. But this what you wanted to know. Really? Really? Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. And those that know, you know, because you're sitting there listening to me now. At the end of the day, y'all think it ain't people hired to create confusion? Like, y'all don't think that? Y'all don't think it's people literally hired to create confusion? Make people get all riled up, arguing with each other, so much to the point that they forget what they was even talking about. We think that ain't possible? Because that sure would be something to just start a whole bunch of stupid talk. Is it okay for Chinese people to say the N-word? I think at some point, people just need to get smart and stop falling for stupidity. I mean, it's already starting to happen, but it ain't moving fast enough. And to those people who hired to do that type of stuff, your days is numbered. It's a wrap with all that. Like, it's time to just live and do right by people. People do right by you, and everybody just move forward. Because at the end of the day, and this is to you people, something you're not thinking of. The same way that y'all did the sanctions and all it did was force people to just move on without you, is the same way it's going to happen with these social media platforms. Because the whole world is still going to go on without you. Look at this TikTok thing that's going on. TikTok said, okay, fine, no problem. We don't need to deal with y'all, whatever. Y'all just a coin in the bucket. Yeah, okay, we get you. We hear what you're saying. And then now we out of that. And the more you play that role and do those things, the more people say, we don't want to deal with them. And the more you put yourself in isolation. And the more isolated you become, then you should know how that plays out. Because look what happened with what is it, Haiti? When everybody said, you know what, we just gonna leave Haiti alone, lady. They let them do their thing over there by themselves. We ain't gonna mess with them. Y'all seen it already. So here we are. What y'all think gonna happen? Y'all supposed to be the smartest and the brightest. Maybe I'm just talking dumb. Hey, maybe I'm just some idiot talking. I don't know what I'm talking about. But so what happens? Already, even our own people is running to them on something called a rent note. I never heard of that before in my life either. Yeah, here they go, running to them by the drones. All these social media apps we got here. And they run into them. Why? Because they said that those apps feel more real, more connected, more alive. People just being themselves. Which kind of like is saying that when they dealing with our apps, it feel like those people are paid to be there. So they're not really having conversations. That person could be feeling good and having a good day and say, it's great outside. And it might really be great outside. But because there's some paid people there to disturb their peace and create chaos, they say, no, it's not. You sound stupid. Just to get them riled up, just to take away that peace and serenity. But when they go to places where people ain't being paid and there ain't no control like that to where they trying to control the narrative for everything going on, guess what? They love it. It's joy. It's happiness. You see? And people want that. People tired of business as usual. It's like that movie Happy Feet. You gotta see the movie Happy Feet. The younger penguins just was trying to live life, have fun. They would tap dancing and stuff. And you could tell by the accents it wasn't just one group of people. It was all those group of people living together to have fun. But here go them older penguins. They sitting up there. No, we can't be like this and can't do that. No. And all this goofy shit. You seen them. But in the end, everything was collapsing around them. The world was still moving and things was getting done, but their world was caving in. And they needed the world. You need the world. You ain't bigger than the world. Some people stick their chests out so big they think they bigger than the world. You not. You not. So guess what? It's just like the Bible story with the Pharaoh. Pharaoh felt he bigger than the world. No, I'm not letting the people go. No, I'm the Pharaoh. Well, we see how that story ended. It's some people y'all need to let go. It's some people y'all need to stop trying to control. Y'all gotta let them go. Let them be great. Because at the end of the day, all you doing, everything you doing is just your own destruction. Just like the Pharaoh with his own destruction. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than any individual. It's crazy because y'all go to church and sit down in these churches and literally know these stories, literally know the morals and principles to this stuff. And then you get up out of there and Monday morning, you forget everything that you know. But it's happening with or without you. At the end of the day, with or without you, it's happening. Same with Pharaoh, whether he made the decision or he didn't, the outcome was still going to be the same. So, with that being said, I'm just saying, I got to get it together. Because if you don't get it together, then you just fall behind. Real talk, you just fall behind. And it's not so hard to do at all. Anyway, on another note, there's a lot of Chinese people who getting upset that everybody rushing over the red note. See, for every good, there's a bad. Every positive, there's a negative. So for a lot of Chinese people, what y'all don't know is that this was their way of communicating with their loved ones from here in America. So because their loved ones, that's their connection. You know, and you could see the pain and hurt in some of them because literally all of the racist stuff they deal with here and whatever they go through, they have a way of getting that stress relief and getting it up off their back by contacting home and being on that platform and everything like that. But now that it's been flooded, that government over there is now creating some kind of new rerouting system or something where anybody who got a foreign IP or VPN, they literally are rerouted to a section of Red Note that only deals with foreign content or foreign people, whatever like that. But either way it go, it disconnected them from their people in actual China. So, which if you think about it, it's crazy because it means that if they really wanted the data, then why would they be rerouting the people from being in tune with the people there? They would welcome it and just keep getting all the data. I'm just saying, make it make sense. Anyway, There we go.
Are you looking to start your digital marketing agency? You are in the right place. I'm Mike. I was running.
Because
do you love boating? Well, Freedom Boat Club makes boating easier than ever.
Flooded by. Okay, I need to know if any other Chinese people feel the same way as I do about how I'm finding it a bit weird with all the Americans flooding Xiaohongshu recently. Anyway, like up until recently, our language was mocked and our accents were mocked and our music was turned into a meme. And now a Chinese app has been flooded by American TikTok users who are now acting buddy-buddy with everyone on there.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren. And I'm Maureen. Yeah, so a Chinese app, Red Note, is really gaining popularity in America, and this is because a lot of them are considering this as an alternative for when TikTok gets banned in the US. Right, and today we're going to be looking at the reaction of Chinese people, but not the Chinese who live in China, Chinese Americans who live in America. Why? Because Chinese in China, they have welcomed America with open arms, and they're doing everything to make Americans feel safe and right at home, right? But Chinese Americans, however, they have some sort of resentment and bitterness towards Americans. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at their reasons why for feeling that Americans should have never joined Red Note to begin with. Yeah, guys, it's already drama even before we. Anyway, let's get into the video, hear what they have to say, and then we come back and talk about it. Can you consider subscribing if it's your first time here? And let us know, yeah, do you agree with their opinions and views, or don't you agree with them? If yes or no, why do you say so? Right. Let's watch.
If you're on Xiaohongshu, you might saw some posts saying that Americans are not welcome here and then they should go back. These opinions are actually not coming from Chinese nationalists or any Chinese people being xenophobic. People who are from China have never been abroad, usually welcome Americans. But someone who studied abroad like me are telling Americans to go back. I'll explain why. When you see Americans flooding into Xiaohongshu, they find out that Chinese people are so welcoming and it was flowers and hugs and cheers, even if they don't speak Chinese at all. But what Chinese international student experience abroad was the complete opposite. When we just got here in North America, when we still cannot speak English at all, people treat us with absolutely no respect. When you don't speak the language, Americans just treat us in whatever way they want because we cannot fight back, and they bully us.
Yeah, I hear that. See, she and her feelings because everybody getting welcomed with open arms to their world. But when they came to our world, well, they had the Black experience. they got what we've been getting from day one. So they in their feelings about it, you know. They want them to experience some of what they felt when they got here. So as you can see, it is just what it is, man. It's not all it's cracked up to be. It's a good and a bad side to everything. But here's where old girl, she having her problems because they said that she literally was going through her thing. So because she was going through her thing, they were like, well, we're gonna have to figure out a way for you to go through what I went through. I mean, to her, it's not fair. She feel it's not fair. How y'all gonna send me through all this, that, and the third? But then when it come time for y'all to get that same treatment, y'all open y'all come through the door, welcome mats and open arms. So yeah, it just could go to show how some people, they really go through motion things just trying to fit in. So now let's see what we got. Oh, old girl right here, she the one that is really, she in her feelings about this situation because this how she keep in touch with her family. So let's see.
Renault or Xiaohongshu just released an update in the Greater China region with a function to separate out foreign IPs, and there are now talks of moving all foreign IPs to a separate server and having a different IP for those who are in the Greater China area. I know through VPNs and other ways, people are still able to access the app, but essentially, this is going to kill the app for Chinese Americans who actually uses the app to connect with the Chinese content, Chinese language, Chinese culture. It's a way for me to feel, I don't know. All of this just because we wanted to.
I know what you're saying. She's saying that app is her escape. She deal with so much racism and hatred and whatever else that come with it the day to day. So that when she gets off or go in her home away from everybody and all the riffraff, and now she get on there and actually feel like she's home. And it's like a way to reset everything that she been through. That's what she's saying. That's exactly what she's saying. She just don't want to say it in such a way where it makes it look like she hate being where she at. So she just frustrated and she want to say what she can't get out to say.
To say fuck you to the US government.
Uh-oh. Maybe she did say something.
All of this just because we wanted to say fuck you to the US government. I get it, but I just wish it wasn't at the cost of others. That's all I have to say about that.
I got to know how mean America.
Yep. They done cut off her lifeline to her peoples now. Now she got to go find some other way to just have fun and mingle with her people because they now rerouting foreign IPs to a different section that has nothing to do with the people that live there. Change is here. Yeah, I remember Barack used to holler, change, change, change. And we thought change was coming, and it didn't come. Well, Barack, it didn't come during your term, but it damn sure enough is here now. Oh, we about to go through a whole lot of change. And we seeing it already. Old girl right here. Yo, she just in her feelings, yo. She gotta get it off her chest. Y'all did her so dirty, yo. She want her people to treat y'all bad. That's just the end of the day.
Americans can be when I pass the border. I see people with European passport passing through the custom within 1 minute. The guy who was checking the passport barely questioned them anything. But when the border see my Chinese passport, they have to interrogate me like a criminal for at least 10 minutes. That happened every time when I pass through the US border. Even if I'm an international student who is purely contributing to the US GDP, and now I'm a senior in the US college, paying several times more than the local students with all clear records, they still question my intention coming to the United States in the 4th year. Not to mention that the border treat us with no respect at all, too. And during this past 4 years, I've been verbally discriminated against. People has called me racial slurs, threatened to beat me up on the streets, push me in the bakery, and not to mention all the microaggressions coming from my classmates and professors just because I'm a Chinese student. And my other fellow Chinese students also being pushed in the CTA and being spat at by a random person, being called a bitch inside of US college by another American student. And suddenly I see all those Americans.
Yeah, she got a lot on her chest. She want to get off. Let me not interfere, because she come through the screen on me.
Person being called a bitch inside of US college by another American student. And suddenly I see all those Americans who doesn't speak our language at all just suddenly flooded into Xiaohongshu, and everybody is welcoming them. And I thought to myself, how about all the discriminations and sufferings and pains and mental breakdown and exclusions I suffer in the States? Why don't I receive the same treatment in the United States? If people treat me like dirt in the US, what makes those Americans deserve such welcoming treatment from Chinese people? When I was in Chinese public school, we were never taught to hate Americans. And let me tell you, Chinese propaganda has never taught Chinese people to hate Americans. But the American propaganda is constantly telling Americans that Chinese people hate them and trying to make Americans believe that we hate them. But we don't, as you guys can see now. And that's why Chinese international students on Xiaohongshu are telling you guys to go back to your app, because we're jealous of your treatment, because we're not equal, because of the white supremacy and Eurocentric mindsets. Can you guys see the extreme power imbalance that's happening here? This is extremely unfair for us as Chinese people who's living abroad for so many years. We live in this so-called immigrant country, suffering all kinds of discriminations and stereotypes, and we have to swallow the bitterness and go on with our lives. This is so unfair.
I think it just weirds me out because
There you have it. The propaganda. Yeah, we know about that too. I remember when it ain't been what, maybe 10, 15 years. A lot of African Americans thought that Africa didn't even have toilets, didn't even have food. Everybody just hungry and dirty and flies all over them and bellies poked out. No electricity, no none of that. I remember that. Y'all remember that? Ain't been too long ago. I had a whole WTF moment when I hit YouTube and hit African cities and it started showing me on like, what the hell? But yeah, that's what I'm telling you. The games people play. Think TikTok problem is it can't be used in some of them games. So because it can't be used, you get rid of it. That's all it is. It's a lot of weird stuff go on with these platforms. I ain't gonna hold you. My channel, I done had only, well, put it like this. My channel hasn't got not one new subscriber in over maybe 2 years. 2 years. Not one, just one. And even if it do get one or two, then it disappear one or two. Get 1 or 2, disappear 1 or 2. See, people tired of that weirdness. That don't feel like a community. It feel like it's something controlled and it's there to keep you right there. Right there in that spot. Then it got my channel demonetized. Waited the 90 days, 90 days up. It's time to get it back. Guess what? You don't meet the watch hours. So you can't click on the button to get it reinstated. But if you go and look, I got close to 6,000 watch hours. So what the problem? Like I said, it's a lot of weird going on when you deal with the certain people succeed, certain people fail. I'm just saying. It's reality over fantasies. I think in 2025, and I know, in 2025, everybody just accept the stuff for what it is. If you ain't right, you right. If you ain't right, you ain't right. And people just calling it on it. You know, I just seen a video today where they were talking about most celebrities is broke. Everybody was thinking they rich, but now they letting it be known. They telling, look at Taraji P. Henson when she blacked out on Oprah and them, saying she broke, saying they ain't paying her like they supposed to. Yo, we done reached the breaking point where, everybody don't care no more. Let's just keep it a buck with what's going on. Let's stop the sugarcoating. And that's what everybody doing. So I don't think that trying to do a new TikTok where you can do business as usual with it is going to work, because it doesn't have that same passion, that same energy. It doesn't have that thing where everybody feel like a community and everybody talking real. I mean, let's just say it works like this. So if 10 people saying that the price of bread is high, because it is high, there are people who literally hired to go in that group and say, well, it's at least you able to get some bread. It's people who ain't able to get bread, to try to cause a bunch of chaos and confusion. So now all of a sudden everybody say, well, what you talking about? We talking about the price of bread is high. Well, I'm just saying, y'all want to talk about the price is high. Hey, it's people who can't even afford bread. This. Yo, and next you know, everybody arguing, but that's what they were put there to do. Because if people would have stayed dwelling on the price of bread, then things would have been found and solutions would have been created where that them prices somehow could have been changed. But these people don't want that change. So guess what? They there to cause the chaos and the confusion. And that's what you see. And that's what's going to always keep happening. But now people not falling for it no more. So rather than deal with that, they going to go to the red note. the red note. Never heard of that. The red note, the blue note, the green note, whatever note. But anyway, and the perfect example of what I just was talking about, man, these people starting to find out about the taxes and the apartments and the rent and stuff like that. So let's talk about that. Because they can't believe that here we have to pay taxes on property even though you own it. Which is crazy because we never looked at it that way until the red note started pointing out what they don't pay for. So okay, so like here, right? So and we never looked at it this way, but it is crazy when you think about it. We could walk in a store and we could buy, let's say, you could buy a radio or a TV or something like that. And when you pay your money and the tax for it, it's yours. And that applies to most things, except for when it comes to a car or a home. When it comes to that, you pay for it, you got the receipt or the deed or whatever for the title, and now it's yours. It's yours, buddy. You did it. It's yours. But then every year, you got to pay some taxes on it. And depending on what it's worth, the taxes go up or down, up, down, up, or down. But here's the kicker. Even though it's yours, if you don't pay them taxes, then guess what? It ain't yours no more. Make that make sense. And nobody around the world can understand that. The people is going, what? What? But yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, word for it. I'm gonna let you hear it.
When banning this app, because now that we're all on Red Note, we're actually learning that a lot of the crap that they've been talking about China is absolutely not true. We're like, wait a second, you guys have universal health care? You don't have to pay for an ambulance when you get picked up to the hospital. You have amazing cars for very low prices. Huawei, the amazing phones they have are also so much better than iPhones. And all of that is forbidden here. We cannot have any of that. Wait a second, you can walk at night outside and not be afraid? There's no mass unalivings in schools? What? What's that like? And I had someone comment on my Red Note being like, now that you're here, I hope you can see that we're not the beasts that, your news made us seem to be. And I was like, we never thought you guys were. I feel like we always knew it was bullshit. And yeah, no country's perfect. There's a lot of issues everywhere in this world. But it's very interesting. We're learning much more, I think, than they wanted us to know. And I think that's not a very good idea for our government. Also, I'm shocked by how quickly people are picking up Mandarin. Like, I feel like you guys need to teach me, how do I do this as quickly as you? Because it's incredible. Like, Americans from Alabama are now speaking fluent Mandarin in like 3 days.
The office. So we have a 2-hour lunch break. What do we do?
All right, it's our lunch break stable here. It's a game called 炉石传说.
Hearthstone Battle.
Hearthstone, yeah, Hearthstone.
They get a 2-hour lunch break?
Yo, that face said, "Oh, he said it. A 2-hour lunch break." I was looking and say, "What? Oh, what?" Yo, 2-hour lunch break. Unheard of. Impossible. You take a 2-hour lunch break if you want. When you come back, you're going to have an even longer lunch break. Because you know why? You're fired. You're fired. 2 hours.
Hearthstone Battlegrounds.
Hearthstone, yeah, Hearthstone.
Taking a 2-hour lunch break? What?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
Look
Shanghai.
at that.
Step into China's world of
Look
advanced
at that.
transportation and stunning architecture. Join me as we explore Shanghai's vibrant cityscape in
Look
the
at
Shining
that.
Lights.
Yo, what are we talking about, people? What are we talking about? Look at that.
Not everyone waking up and finally realizing that China looks like a utopian future. Meanwhile, the US is just the fucking econo lodge. That even may be giving it too much credit. We are like the American budget in. Like, this is not AI. This is Shanghai, okay? And we can't even fix our fucking sidewalks. Like, our sidewalks are so bad that the ground is literally rejecting them. All this money, and this is literally the shit we walk on. And don't even get me started on the roads that have had construction for God knows how long. It's literally like we're living in the 1970s around here. We are so far behind, it's not even funny. American propaganda is some next level shit. This country is trash.
You see?
I don't know where y'all Americans are getting.
You see? You people up there at the top. You see? And I just want y'all to hear what I have to say to y'all. I'm talking to y'all, you know, that top 1%. The ones who listen to me, what I'm saying right now. Pay close attention to what I'm saying. Because y'all got lost somewhere and you forgot something. Y'all remember when you look at Africa or countries like that and you go, those countries are trash, or look at them and you turn your nose up and disgust at them? Well, guess what? I promise you, in those countries, there are and were millionaires and billionaires. But did y'all think of them when y'all was saying things like those trash countries, or those? Did y'all say, oh, except for them? Or did you look at everybody as that? You see, you stripped this country down, you robbed it of everything, to where now the world is looking at us the same way. And guess what? You live here too. So guess what? They're all looking at us as one. They're calling you trash too. Everything you call the poor people here, because you up there, the world is calling you that. You see how it works? You see? Your minds are in the wrong place. And we all know it. Nobody speak on it, but we know the core to all this is racism. We know it. Everybody know it. It's just whispered. But everybody know that if you get rid of racism in America, this would be a great country. We would grow. It's so many inventors, so many people who create visions, this, that, and the third. But that's what you don't want. You want to control everything. Well, and you did. You did. But here's the thing. if only a few people in a country is rich and controlling everything, compared to the world, it's a poor country. No one cares about the 4 or 5 rich people or the 100 rich people. They're looking at the whole country. When you see a poor neighborhood, you don't look at the one nice house and then try to give it some respect and credit and say, it's not that bad. You ain't gonna say that just because there's one house in there looking good. The whole neighborhood is trash. That's what you're gonna say. Well, congratulations. Because this is what you've done. You look in the mirror and know it's you. So even though you sitting on your house in the mountains and and you might have your servants and this and that, you better not go nowhere because to the world, you right here with us, the poor people. You right here with everybody else. You hear all these people on the internet. You hear all of them. So at some point, y'all gonna have to come up off that. Cause you looking just as bad. I promise you. Everything you call us, they calling you. Everything. Oh, they don't want to pay their bills. Well, we got how many $1 trillion in debt? You ain't paying your bills either. Oh, all they want to do is violence and start stuff, get everybody bitter. Wait a minute. How many people complaining about you being in everybody's business? They don't want to mind your own business. Everything, huh? Oh, they loud. Oh, they loud and this and that. Oh, well, we got a whole lot to say about everybody else. But how that saying go? And this is how you know racism is the core, the deep thing. Because it says, be careful because the very thing you hate is the thing you become. So everything you say about us, guess what? Just look in the mirror. Say all those things you say about us, and then say, is the world looking at you that way? Just do that. Just see where you headed down the wrong dead end path. Cause you're there. You're really there. But anyway, what I know, I don't know nothing. I'm just running my mouth. Let's get back to this.
Getting the information that Xiaohongshu Red Note translated is basically the Chinese version of TikTok.
I need one day, right? So today I think I can show you. First, I'll take Didi to work. So that's the first class today. Then our first class is my mate.
Hello from Europe. Europe is in afternoon. In afternoon. One. I think this is cheap. 40 for a cake. It's 40 yuan. It's not $40. I think this considered cheap. Like 29, you can get 8 roll. This is 29 Swiss roll. 虎皮 瑞士卷。